Prior to setting up your monitor on the conveyor beam, you want to preset your height adjustment depending on your trolley drop for the conveyor. Currently, we are measuring a 348 chain, which has a 5.5 inch drop. So we just kind of line this up to the laser centers here to the top of this plate prior to mounting. You have multiple holes in here for your laser spacing depending on your chain size, whether it be 3, 4, 6 inch. Your instruction manual will tell you which holes to set that in if it does need to be moved. Also, you have a magnet sensor on here. That needs to be adjusted for length depending on your chain size. You want to end up with about a 1/2 inch from the end of the laser magnet sensor to the outside of the chain. And also you will need to pre-mount the magnet pickup for this sensor on your chain. That is a aluminum block with a magnet preset in it. You would leave that in for the life of the chain, so every time you come back, your link set number 1 will always be linked set number 1 on your data report. You adjust the height by turning this up or down for your trolley drop length. You have clamping device here for the beam to hold that tight and snug to the beam. Your connections for the controller box will be connected after you mount that up on there. Everything is labeled depending on which connector you're going to, whether it be DC, paint, magnet, laser sensor, or an Ethernet connection. Prior to mounting your monitor on the conveyor, you want to stop the conveyor and perform any lockout procedures that is required. Setting it up on there, you've got a little spring on the side so you can pull it out, give it a little bit of room if you need be. Once you set it on the beam, you take the clamping device and snug it up onto the beam to hold it in place, both sides. Snugs it down. Now you're good and stable on the beam. Next thing you would want to do is mount the controller box. It comes with keyhole slots on there and little pegs, so it makes it simple for mounting purposes. Just slide on, sets, good to go. Nothing else needed for that controller box to hold it in place. Right now we have the 3 connectors, one for your battery power, one for your magnet sensor, and then one for the communications between the lasers and the unit. Each pin has got a key slot in there, so you cannot get it in the wrong position. Just turn, lock it in place, and tighten the connector. At this point in time, if you were putting the optional paint marker on there, you could connect it at this time or do that any time in the future. You want to put a paint marker on it. If you determine normal operations, customers would measure the chain and determine if there is any links that are beyond recommended replacement. At that point in time, you would set up the paint marker and run the unit again to mark those links for replacement. With these 3 connectors in place, now you're ready to power up. The power switch is on the battery on the side. Once it is on there, you need to perform the setup. Password is 5263 and press OK. with the setup, you can touch screen on this, so the auto start is on or off. That's, you have a guide roller or no guide roller. This X-Chain has no guide roller on it. The number of loops to average for your measurements. The paint marker is on or off. We do not have it hooked up right now. Your paint delay and your durations. You can read your instruction manual for how to set those depending on your conveyor speed, chain size, and mounting. Nominal length of your chain is to be set. This one is already preset for the 6-inch chain, which is the X348. Your inspection limit, your replacement limit, and your sensor offsets need to be on here. Your inspection and replacement will be in your instruction manual. The sensor offset is something that needs to be confirmed at this time. After mounting it up here and turning it on, powering it up, you can check your center distance for vertical height and make adjustments to that with the knob from overhead. Confirm you're at the center line of the chain. Next thing you want to do is take your calipers and measure the distance from the first laser point on each laser block by pulling it up there and putting your point on center. We can confirm that we are at 5.6. With that, you set it on the offset of the control panel and confirm those two match to make sure your readings are accurate. After confirming your offset for the lasers, you can set your sensor offset. 5.6 is what we recorded, and now you're ready to go for runtime. With auto start, the current link will trigger counting when the magnet passes the first time. It is on auto start, so you do not hit the auto start was not active. This would be a start on the green button. Mounting the magnet in your block, you want to make sure the red dot is on the same side as your magnet sensor for the pickup. Magnet sensor's on this side. You want the magnet sensor to be a ½ inch away from the side of the chain, and your height adjustment will be automatic once you set up your lasers for the center line of the chain also. You've set up your parameters for your chain size, your offset, your inspection replacement length, mounted your magnet on there. Now you are ready to run. Press the run time will take you to the first screen at this because we're on active auto start. If you were not on auto start, this would read start on the green button and you would need to push that. And your current link counter will start as soon as the magnet passes by the first time. Now we are going to start the conveyor and you can see it pass by. Now it's counting each link. The center link with the magnet in it will be number 1. You would want to leave that magnet in the conveyor chain for the life of the conveyor chain. So each time you go back to measure it, it is measuring from the same starting point for training purposes and forecasting.